Did you see Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon.
He hasn't attended the famed White House Correspondents' Dinner since taking office.
Donald Trump is, to borrow a Kobe term, soft as Charmin.
If your regime is not strong enough to handle a joke, then you don't have a regime.
And there are plenty of comedians, like the great Jon Stewart, who feel this way. It truly does say something.
Have you ever wondered what the difference is between the political parties, Democrats and Republicans?
While there are differences, when corporations run the country on many issues, they share similar interests. Or as Lewis Black puts it,
the Democratic Party, which is a party of no ideas, and the Republican Party, which is a party of bad ideas. And the way it works is the Republican stands up in Congress and goes, I got a really bad idea. And the Democrat says, and I can make it.
laughably solid. If you want an honest perspective, lean towards folks like him.
There's not a lot of disagreement because ultimately Ivana does exactly as I tell her to do.
Ah yes, just some good old-fashioned sexism at the forefront of the Republican Party.
Now I do need to say something here. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on you people. I'm going to go easy on you people because my brain is smaller. I'm also the first straight woman to host this in 20 years, so we finally made it, straight people.
Which ex-SNL host Cecily Strong is quick to remind us of.
So who's doing this to our city? Strictly speaking, you know the answer. It's BLM and Antifa, crazed ideologues, grifters, criminals, antisocial thugs with no stake in society and nothing better to do than hurt people and destroy things.
The bigots at Fox News know exactly what they're doing with mass media. Thus,
welcome to a Negro night here at Washington. Or as Fox News will report, 2 thugs disrupt elegant dinner in D.C. That's how they do it. Sure.
Larry Wilmore rightfully tears them a new one in the way they manufacture consent from their loyal, aging audience.
We are not an authoritarian nation where we silence people or squash dissent. The American people are heard.
Utter nonsense, which Black explains in his bit.
And now it's worse. We don't have any leaders at all. I finally figured out the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats blow, the Republicans suck. Oh, and you don't like that? Switch it around.
You know, this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly.
Strong has a pretty nice rebuke to many who saw former President Barack Obama as good but flawed.
A lot of people want Elizabeth Warren to run for president, but many think she's too idealistic and her proposed policies are too liberal. But look at President Obama. I mean, people thought the same thing about him. He didn't end up doing any of that stuff.
I agree. We need to call out hypocrisy in all of its forms, and we need to call out atrocity in all of their forms. I mean, my goodness, if you're going to start calling out atrocities, let's also call out the numerous players, leagues, owners that cozy up to the Black Lives Matter organization that is committed to defunding and demonizing police. If we're going to call out organizations for atrocities, we're going to call out organizations for their wrongdoings. We got to be consistent with all of that.
One of the dumbest and worst commentators out there, Tommy Lauren, has entered the chat.
Oh, by the way, you guys, Black Lives Matter is here tonight? I'm just kidding. Relax, white people. They're not here. It's just a joke. Just relax. Just relax. But I am impressed with the people in this room. There are so many rich, powerful people in this room. You know, it's nice to finally match the names to the faces in the Panama Papers. It's very nice, right? You know what I'm saying? It's nice to see them go together.
As Wilmore chides those scared by the movement, he also speaks truth to power. By the way, please, I am begging you, read what he mentioned in that last sentence, because it is eye-opening.
This is the most important election of our times.
This is the most important election of our lifetime.
You say this is the most important election in decades.
Politicians say every time, this is the most important election. This one's really that important.
You shared that you think this is the most important election of your lifetime. I certainly think it's the most important election of my lifetime.
We hear it over and over again. Lewis Black, meanwhile, has a different feeling.
We're going to have to vote again and for the president, and I'm real happy about that. because I haven't recovered from voting in 1992. When I walked into a voting booth and I saw the words Bill Clinton, George Bush, and H. Ross Perot, and I said, well, where's the lever that says kill me now? I would have felt better in 1992 if instead of voting, I was actually just found masturbating in public.
There have been questions about my email, so I want to address that directly. I opted for convenience to use my personal email account, which was allowed by the State Department, because I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of two.
Naomi Campbell's here. Now, Naomi, you're lucky Hillary Clinton is not here, because if you threw your BlackBerry at her, she would just delete everything right off of it. Hillary Clinton said that she used her private email because she didn't want to use more than 2 devices. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because it's also one of the rules from the sex contract in 50 Shades of Grey.
I will keep men out of women's sports, okay? Who would even think that you could allow this? Who would say that this is okay? These people are sick. They're deranged. On day one, I will immediately sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children.
As we've gone over plenty of times, it was never about bathrooms or sports. It was a gateway to discrimination.
Donald Trump said that if Hillary Clinton were a man, he didn't think she'd get 5% of the vote. Okay, all right. First of all, if Hillary Clinton were suddenly a man, her biggest problem would be finding a bathroom she'd be allowed to use in North Carolina. All right? That'd be her biggest problem.
Hey everyone, if there are any stories that you want to bring to our attention, whether it is the local level, collegiate level, professional level, national level, that you think would be worthy of a story and us covering, there are so many hours in a day and only so much we see. Submit them to me. Get at me on Twitter, on Instagram, and TikTok. Send me a DM, send me a tweet, what have you. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.